everybody. My name is Hannah, and I'm really glad that two of my supervisors are here, Professor Makomekan and Dr. Michelle. Today I would like to share to you and present to you my thesis. Currently, I'm in the stage of collecting the, data. I think I'm going to conclude pretty soon. I just recently come back from Thailand. That's where I've been collecting data from. So my thesis is all about this identification and analysis of the critical factors in the adoption and use of information and communications technology in Thai Government Department. I just look into Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperative as my case study, and just look to in-depth study in this particular ministry. I will inform you later on why I actually picked this ministry. Okay. Well, actually, overview is all about this relationship between the information system, how this information system affect the use of the IT in the government department, particularly in Thailand. So how this government actually impact into the information system as well. So my research break into two session. The first one is the main aim. The main aim is that the research question is about what are the main difficulties and encountered by the employees in the adoption and use of this GFMIS. GFMIS is Government Fiscal Management Information System. It's an application that I will look into. The reason why I look into this GFMIS is because in the Thai government, they actually utilize this application throughout 22 ministries in Thailand. So the reason I picked this application because they've been used normally every ministry. So the best is to pick the one that every ministry actually utilize this application. So therefore, I picked this application out of others. So in the Ministry of Agriculture. Sub-aim is what are the key variables in relation to maximize the GFMIS adoption and use in the MOIC. To what extent the youth is a unified theory adoptions and use in the technology. This model effective as a conceptual framework that I picked up. And this particularly in the technology acceptance as well. So what lesson learned from this study might be applied to other technology adoption initiatives? So that is my research aim. And from what I found from throughout my research, I break into two sections, and which is using the pie chart, which is make me identify this differentiate between the theoretical context and also the practical context. From the theoretical context, of course, is consists of the constraint of the IT adoption, as well as this the adoption in the government, in the e-government, electronic government. So that is the theoretical context. And the practical one, of course, the geography in Thailand, particularly because I'm from Thailand and it's a developing country, which is really good case study to pick up. And also, the audience would be the two groups, would be the managers. The managers, the higher level, who the one who manage this application, and also the subordinates, the one who use, they are the users. So I'm just gonna look into their behavior on this. And of course, the contribution, I'm just gonna go quickly because there are so many of them here. The contribution to knowledge, of course, I will address assessing the extent of what previous study has been done, and what I found is previous study actually look into this engineering perspective, the ICT adoption, particularly on the engineering, not into the management information system in the application, which is I found there are the constraint of the ICT adoption in this particular area as well. And also, we also address the extent of the internal organization factor as well. And also address the effective of the extent youth model, the unified theory, acceptance and using technology. And also, of course, lastly, this one from one of the case study from the Ministry of Agriculture will be the good example for other 22 ministries in Thailand too. And state of significance, for sure, will provide the e-government, which is to boost their management and up to their economy, to an uprise as well. And then there are the huge gap between the agriculture knowledge center and the end users community. As I mentioned, the previous study, what I found, they're studying about the farmers, how they actually, this farmer adopt in ICT and so on, but then that's not enough, which is like how they actually utilize the technology effectively. That's what they need. We need to look into more into that. And also the provide MOC with the central IT, they integrate broadly, because right now they not properly integrate across the ministries. So they have this application, they bought the application, but however they utilize the application only 20%, what I found from previous casual interview with the Deputy Ministry of Agriculture. What they actually look into that, they just want the users, they just want their employees to utilize 100%, but that's not it yet, not until that stage yet. Then again, the MOSC need to gain the better understanding of the needs of the training also, because what I found from the when I go for data collection, the most important thing is the training. The users actually don't have a full knowledge of this application. That's why they actually start using with very limited knowledge, and they tend to make a lot of mistakes on that. So we go into that later on. At last is of course the policy, the government policy, and also improve the current situation and try to modify the training program and change, and also the reward system must put in place as well. So that is that is a state of significance. So from the literature, as I mentioned that in previous study, I found that the high internet cost and lack of the quality in IT, because in Thailand, they are developing country, is still not until standard as yet, not as high as yet. So we found the constraint in the adoption in the e-government, of course. And the main gap is that the IT adoption is, they evaluate the critical factors impact of adoption in e-government. It's actually not only in Ministry of Agriculture, but throughout 22 ministries. So it's quite big issues at the moment back there. And from another literature mentioned about their pilot project. They do have the blueprint from 2000 since 2001, and until today, they did not actually mention of government to the government the study, the research on the internal management. So they just look into how to actually improve the government to the citizens, government to the business, and so on. But then none of them mention about the government do something for the government. So I take that challenge to conduct this study to understand and find what are the problem internally in order to boost their management. So one of the literature mentioned that the e-government from one of the study, which is from Saudi Arthur, which is pretty good papers, mentioned about the e-government, and they actually utilize this model called UTOT, Unified Theory Acceptance Technology. They pick up these models from, actually this model have this evolution start from the theory, reason, action down to the model of the PC utilization, and then they combine all that, become a unified theory, acceptance and use of the technology. So this model, for me, it's best fit for what I'm looking for. There are the factors which I need to look into, which is like, for example, the effect performance, expectancy, the performance expectancy, and social influence, because in Thailand, the cultural and social influence is really impact a lot on the working culture, working environment. And I went back last time, I can see that, well, before they give a feedback, they asked me first, will this gonna review, will I gonna be review what I'm gonna give feedback to you, because I wanna give you the truth, but I'm afraid it's gonna impact on me, my superior will say something about that, so it's pretty high concern about the social influence as well, and also facilitating condition. I found that the facility over there is still poor under lower standard, and they're still using the old PC, however. And then what I found from this Unit 5, theory, acceptance, and use of the technology model, there are, as I mentioned, that there are four, I would call as an independent variable, there are four of them there, and then this one actually, however, related to the behavior, intention, and use behavior. And there are the moderator influences, is gender, age, experience, and voluntaries of use. However, I picked up and keep on digging on this literature, and I found this pretty model which is more suitable. Oh, sorry, I go backward. Okay, here, this one I pick up from this Venkataj latest articles, which is he actually add on another three factors, which is the anxiety and perceived credibility and attitudes, which is in the blue light blue over there. And we discussed together with how we actually get this model fit with our context. So we modify a little bit at this dependent variable there. Instead of we go for behavior intention, we just adjust these factors into the intention to use future technologies. And then, of course, I figured that the job type and also the education level is one of the important moderator too. So I add on in there under my conceptual framework there. So, of course, the approach and methodology, this one I just look into the quantitative because I just want to understand the number of the users, what their perceptions to this adoption. So that's why we picked up about 500 samples from the inside Ministry of Agriculture. There are 14, actually now down to 12. So this we pick up randomly. We use as a random sample, which is about 14 to 15 per department in this Ministry of Agriculture. So in total, we try to get about we just try to get about confirm, which is 200 sample, because according to the tool, the instrument that we're going to use, which is structure equation model, which is this structure equation model allow us to actually eliminate the irrelevant. I'm not sure if I say wrong, Dr. Michelle. Because the structure equation model will look into this confirm. What do you call that one? Sorry.
CFA.
Yeah, CFA.
Confirmatory factors.
Yes, confirmatory factors. We will look and analyze on that. In my questionnaire, I'm using this Likert scale, which is up to 7 score from the strongly disagree, gonna be score number 1 score, and then up to 7, which is strongly agree. So from what I got from data collection, they are, I wouldn't say, because right now still need to look to conclude the data, but pretty much very well received from what I found from each year. Okay, so that's it. That would be conclusion for my presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
I just had a question. With ICT, it changes so rapidly. Are you looking at the same systems in Thailand at the start of the research as at the end, or is it completely different systems?
Because why I picked up this government fiscal management information system, it's what I found, this application being utilized throughout 22 ministries and still under underdeveloped, let's say, because they do not utilize yet. And this is the important application. And what I've from my observation as well, there are a lot of mistakes going on. You know, dealing with the money, finance system is really big deal. So I picked this application to understand the ICT adoption. However, from your question, there are ICT change rapidly. There are many new applications coming up. And I believe this from what I study, maybe more or less could apply because it's the same context, and the users gonna be the same. Same characteristic of those users. They're gonna be the government officers. So that's why my research is narrowed down to this particular target. And I said the characteristic of the users in the government is not so much different. Because like for what I found, like the seniors officers always tend to have a non-IT savvy, so the knowledge of the maybe they're now much more improved, but still they are the one of the factors, and also the education. Right now, and the government also changed their recruiting as well. Instead of the looking for the permanent employee, but now they just contract basis. They just gonna go for contract basis, and that's one of the big factors because the turnover of the staff always change. So the one who actually is expert in that particular application always change. If they're not there all the time, they change. So the new people have to start understand and have a knowledge. I mean, they have to train the new people time to time. So, am I answering your question?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just, I think the thing is that it's a system which is a major system which is being rolled out throughout the entire government and has been for some time. The real problem is that there's resistance to using it. So a lot of the people who are using it are very clever in finding workarounds where they can manage to do things in the old way. So the trick is trying to get them on board. Yeah, one of the reasons why.
I just want to add something. In your conceptual framework, you actually look at intention to use future technology. So that would, in a way, address your attitude towards new technology as the technology evolves.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very topical. In India also, there's been a lot of efforts to make the government more of e-governance, which I have seen that over the past 10-15 years have really revolutionized in the way that it has made information more transparent and also helped to curb a lot of corruption. I think that will be also hopefully the case in Ireland as well.
Yeah.
So we'll thank.
All right. Thank you.
And can we just take a 10-minute morning tea break, please? And bye-bye. Sorry.
I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you. I have something for you that I will check out. Yeah, I have something I and pretty much, but I have in my office. So are you guys still staying until afternoon?
Yeah, hopefully, but I've got 2 more of yeah, 12:40, and then we'll just have a chat.
Okay. So you're gonna stick around New York?
Well, we'll be having lunch wherever. That'll probably be in 9:03. That's when we'll see. And we've got about 5 minutes between now and the next presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Aaron Tian and I come from China. Thank you Nana for inviting me to introduce our country to our local friend. First of all, I just want to show you a simple comparison between China and Australia, I just did. And as we can see on the map, and China and Australia are both very large countries in terms of the area. However, the population is quite different. As you can see on this bar chart, China has 1.3 billion people, and Australia only have 23 million. So it is very, if you come to China, you will feel very crowded in cities, especially capital cities. Let's focus back to China. And as you can see in the map, China has a very diverse landscape. In the west north, we got large desert, and in the middle north, we got large grassland, and that's where the Mongolian beef come from. And on the far north, we got the forest, and then in the south, we got the tropical forest. So different climate cultivate different cultures. Basically, in the north, people are like to wheaten food, such as noodles and dumplings. And in the south, people are more enjoy rice and dim sum. And now I will introduce three possible universities you may exchange to. And there are also three Chinese universities that cooperate with Victoria University, and they are in different parts of China as well. I will introduce them one by one to you. First of all is the Sichuan University, which is located in the Sichuan province, and it's also in the capital city, as I mentioned before. And you can see, as you can see on the map, this university city is very near to the Tibetan, so if you really enjoy traveling, you can go to Tibetan very easily from this city. And Tibetan is also always a very mystery and beautiful province. Let's focus on the university you may exchange to, the Sichuan University. Just to zoom in, it is a very traditional Chinese cities, like you can see on the map. It's got many ring roads circling the center of the city, and the university is located in the very center of the city. So it is very crowded and very it got many shops, and they always open until late night. So there were many night activities in the city. And I also found some pictures to show the food. And the Chinese hot pot is the original food, and the spicy food is originate from this province as well. So you can see in the picture, they are very delicious. And moreover, Chengdu is popular in China for its clubs and bars in night. So it is very, I think most of the local people may enjoy living there. Next, I will introduce you to the Henan University, which is located in the east part of China, and it's also the original province for the Han Chinese cultures. And as I zoom in, it is a very busy, it's a very with high density of people, so there were many cities around it. So it is near the two most biggest city in China, Shanghai and Beijing. So if you exchange to this city, it's very convenient to you to go to both of these economic centers of China. And last, let me introduce you to the Liaoning University, which is located in the far north of China, and is near the Korean. So if you exchange to this country, it is easy for you to travel to Korea and also Beijing as well. So, and Liaoning is where the dumplings and the Chinese traditional noodle food comes from. So. And finally, I would like to conclude is that maybe the first impression to talk about China, you might think of the Great Wall, the Forbidden Cities, and etc. But actually, China has more than that. So, and it is very different between every part of China, as I mentioned, due to the climate difference and cultural differences. I personally come from Guangzhou. It is the far south cities of China. So it is another very interesting city, and it's near Hong Kong. So if you would really like to really like shopping, you can also travel to Guangzhou to have a look. And China is definitely a very fascinating and worth visit country. You would like to go, and it is too large and complicated for me to just include all the attractions in this short video. So just go and explore and see by yourself how China looks like in real life. Welcome.